Good evening. Welcome to our Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting. This is our regular meeting for Monday, July 28th. So we'll call the meeting to order. Let's start with invocation by Reverend Kristen Jones and a pledge of allegiance by Braley Hoskins.
Let's pray. Gracious and merciful Creator, we gather together intent on doing good work. We seek to represent well and with fairness those in the city of Tullahoma. We meet to serve our community, to use our resources wisely, to make decisions that promote the common good. Today, may we be open to others' ideas and beliefs and respectful of our differences. May we grow in understanding of ourselves and others. May we be patient and kind as we speak. May we find common ground and shared purpose as we seek to strengthen our community. May we see clearly what unites us. May our efforts be blessed with insight, grounded by understanding and wisdom. We seek to serve with respect for all. Grant us strength to act and grant us that we would do well in all of these matters before us. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Ms. Hoskins, for the pledge. Yeah, or something like that. Yeah, that'd be good. So we're going to start out this evening with a recognition of our Tullahoma 12U Ripken District and State Championship All-Star Baseball Team, which if you're in the room, you know we're doing that because there's a whole bunch of ball caps in here tonight. I want to read this little summary some of the coach sent us about what happened this year with this team before we come down and make some presentations so everybody online and listening to us on the television can understand what happened. This team went into undefeated in the district tournament held in Franklin, Tennessee, June 20th through 22nd, going 4-0 and earning the title of district champions. The championship game was against the host team, Franklin. Tullahoma won that game 10-6. The team also went undefeated in the state tournament held in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, June 27th through 29th, going 4-0 and earning the title of state champions. Championship game was against the host team, Lawrenceburg, and Tullahoma won that game 4-0. Winning the state tournament earned the team a spot in the Southeast Regional Tournament held in Fort Myers, Florida, July 16th through the 19th. States represented in the regional tournament were Florida, Tennessee, Virginia, North Carolina, and South Carolina. Tullahoma won the first game against Glen Allen, Virginia, lost games 2 and 3, and won game 4, 8-6. Tullahoma seeded third in our pool division and missed the cut for advancement for bracket play, going 2-2 in the Southeast Regional Tournament. The team had an overall record of 10-2, winning the first 9 games of the postseason, so that's pretty good. So we're going to go through the roster here of players and present some certificates. And just one final note that someone has added here, not the coach, not Mr. Smith, but the coaches helped fundraise almost $30,000 to take the kids to Florida, which is an accomplishment probably almost as hard as winning baseball games. So congratulations for that. So we call your name, you guys come through and just stay up here because we'll be able to get a photo. And we'll start with players. Jordan Bunn. He's not here, Jordan. Is he not here? No wonder we won.
That's a big 12 goal right there.
No wonder you guys.
That's right.
Tulsa Ray. Congratulations. Preston Smith. Third base? Shortstop, all right.
Right.
Shortstop. Congratulations. Sean Marsh Smith. What's your position? First base.
Right.
All right. Maddox McCollum. Three tips. What's your position? Center field. You can run probably. Sawyer Smith. Grass. What position? Right field.
Right.
Preston Silverton. Kingston Bunch. Congratulations. What position you play? Pitcher. There we go. David Smith. Congratulations, Coach. Thanks,
Player coach.
Player coach, there you go. Dan or Shay? Coach, you want to say anything about these boys?
None other than extremely proud of them, which is obvious. I know I've said this time and time again, but still am proud of you guys. This is a major achievement, and what you guys accomplished is nothing short of amazing. Undefeated in district and state, going down to Florida and facing some talented teams, going 2-2. Proud of you, but as far as the achievements, you guys did it, not us. Okay, so you guys were on the field playing, so we're proud of you guys. Good job.
You boys can step up for this coach.
Together.
And parents will be able to get one after us if you want to. Let's get everybody scoot in. I think that actually looks really good right there. Go ahead, Kyle. All right, now it's my turn. 1, 2, 3. We get one more. Everybody smile like you earned it. 1, 2, 3. Got it, parents.
All you parents here, I'll do it.
Okay, everyone look at this one.
Thanks, guys, for coming out, and good news is you don't have to stay for the board part.
Good job, Dave.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you.
You know that? Absolutely. Good talent right there.
Let those guys clear the room, then we'll continue. Plenty of seats available now. Probably opened up a few parking
one
places.
person.
Probably so. All right, we'll continue on. Next item on our agenda is comments from citizens. Were there any comments from citizens? Doesn't look like there's any citizens left now, so I'm assuming we don't have any. Our next item is approval of the agenda. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda? Motion and a second on the agenda. Let's vote. And that carries 6-0. I mean, yeah, 6-0. We got one absent. Forgot to mention the roll call. The reports from the alderman. We'll start with Matthew Byrd over here.
Thank you. Not a whole lot to report. This weekend I'll be attending the Elected Officials Academy and the MTAS Conference in Chattanooga. Looking forward to that, to learn everything I can there. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Wilson.
Thanks, Mayor. No report today.
Thank you. Ms. McGee.
Just have a few things to report. I attended the Tullahoma Housing Authority meeting. I also attended the Planning Commission meeting. And I attended an event this past Saturday at Jefferson Street Park called Jamming in the Park. It was a nice crowd there, and it was poetry and spoken word, and there were different vendors set up. It was really nice. It was hot, but it was really nice. And also this year, I am partnering with Tullahoma Housing Authority for a school supply drive. And I'm partnering along with Miss Mary Phillips, who is over the activities of the Housing Authority. And so far, we've given out approximately 200 backpacks full of school supplies, and we still have some to go. And we are needing, we're still needing pencils, 1-inch notebooks, glue sticks, and notebook paper if anyone would like to still make donations. So we're hoping to continue to give these items out up until Thursday when school starts back. And that is all I have to report. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Alderman Glick.
No report tonight.
All right. Alderman Toma.
No report, but a comment. I truly commend those 12-year-old Little Leaguers. I coached Little League baseball for 12 years, some of the best times in my life. We almost got to go. We were one game short. So congratulations.
Congratulations, yeah. So Mayor's report, just a couple of things real quick. I did have a chance this past Thursday. The Chamber has been the Chamber of Commerce, Tullahoma Chamber of Commerce, has been coordinating with ADC to do some tours out to ADC. And of course, I have great familiarity with that, but I decided to escort my new bride and went with some others in Rushbrook, and actually brought down several other state representatives as well. And so we got on a bus with them, and we did the full, a good bit of, a great tour of ADC, at least some of the facilities. You can't ever get to see all of them when you go on one of those tours. There's just too much to see. And then afterwards, we actually went out to UTSI and had lunch out there and meeting with Dr. Smisher and some representatives from UT and UTSI. And they got a continued tour of UTSI, trying to bring attention to the importance of UTSI directly to some of the state legislatures. So appreciate Representative Bricken doing that and bringing some attention to our community in that way. Just a couple of other quick announcements. We have a vacancy coming up on the Tullahoma Utilities Authority Board for a term expiring on August 31st, 2025. So any citizens who are interested in serving on the TUA board may submit a citizen participation resume form through Friday, August 15th here at City Hall. Also like to announce that we've had a kind of a need for a while, a new member of the Planning Commission for the Urban Growth Boundary member. First of all, sorry, my mind just went blank. Yeah, thank you. Bill Comer, who's served in that capacity for a long time, and Bill Comer has been a long-term public servant. He served for many years as the chairman of the Coffee County Industrial Board and is a retired ADC executive, and it just has been a stalwart and those sort of things. And so he stuck around for a long time. We finally found somebody for that position. So I'm announcing the appointment of Adam Klein this evening to Bill's chair on the Planning Commission. So he'll be a new member on our board. And that's all of my report. City Administrator report.
Yes. I did remind Coach David Smith that the last team from Tullahoma at 12U that won the state went on to win the state high school championship. Mm-hmm. So no pressure on him to make sure those kids make it. But it's always good to see that and to hear that report of $30,000 being raised in relatively short amount of time was incredible. And it just shows our community continues to support our young people, which is extremely important for us as we continue to grow. My report tonight, a lot is going to be about what I'm doing as the interim director of the TAEDC board. I've enjoyed doing that, meeting some people that normally I may not meet on a normal basis. But last week I had a couple of meetings, one with Colonel Mizell, who's the base commander at AEDC. He and I just wanted to talk about ways that the city of Tullahoma can continue to seek to support the base. And of course, the two areas that always come out are, housing and childcare. So we talked about some ideas and some opportunities that maybe the base could look at as far as some additional housing through an EUL or some other things. So we're both looking at a couple of things. I know the mayor has been involved in that quite extensively. So it was good for us to catch up on that and maybe come up with a couple of ideas. And then I met with Jim Jolliffe, who today it was his first day as the general manager at Beyond New Horizons. They employ upwards of 2,000, 2,200 people at the base. and just asking him again, what are some of the needs that he has. I know in speaking with he and the base commander previous to Colonel Mizell, one of the concerns they had were a large number of their employees who drive from Murfreesboro, from other places, come to work because they don't have child care options, they don't have housing options. So I was able to share a report with both of them showing the apartment units that are on the planning board that are going to be developed over the course of the next 12 months to 18 months. But also shared with them a listing of subdivisions that were coming into the housing. So wanted to make sure they were fully aware of that. The TAEDC board has put together a search committee for the new director. We are receiving applications through this Thursday, the 31st, and we're going to be working afterwards on that. We have upwards of 30 applicants so far that we have received interest in. Also, I attended the Tri-County Railroad Authority quarterly meeting at Bridgestone, which, you know, when we think about the railroad in town, we always think about what's going, you know, really parallel to Highway 41, but there's also the track that goes from Sparta and comes all the way down to Tullahoma. So it was good to meet with some of those folks, understand some of the concerns they may have. And definitely, I can tell you that the TAEDC director served as a significant resource for that board or that authority, so I'm looking forward for the new director to take that as well. Crosswalks at the TCS schools have been repainted over the past several days, so looking forward to getting all that completely done as schools starting this week, along with Alderman Byrd and Alderman Toma and our city attorney Steve Worsham. Looking forward to a really outstanding TML conference this coming weekend. It's been a good experience for me to talk with other colleagues that are in similar positions and some of the challenges and some of the solutions they're coming up with to be able to share that. And then also, she led us in our Pledge of Allegiance, but we have Miss Braylee Hoskins here with us. This is the daughter of Brittany Hoskins. If you have a chance to say hello after the meeting, I hope you will. She is a very bright and intelligent young lady. That's my report.
Thank you. All right, our next item is consent agenda. So do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda, which is just our meetings? We'll already have a motion and second. People are ahead of me. All right, so unless there's any discussion, let's vote on that. Consent agenda passes 6-0. That brings us to unfinished business. We have a number of these ordinance for passage on second and final reading on the zoning that we discussed last time. So our first unfinished business, ordinance number 1653, an ordinance to amend the zoning map of the city of Tullahoma as set forth in Tullahoma Municipal Code to rezone a parcel located at 217 through 219 Big Springs Avenue from restricted industrial and warehousing I-1 to general commercial C2 zoning district for passage on second and final reading. So we have a motion for second on that. Motion by Mr. Glick, second by Mr. Byrd. Any discussion on that? If not, let's vote. It's 6 yes. All right, so that one carries. Next one is item 3, ordinance number 1654, an ordinance to amend the zoning map of the city of Tullahoma to rezone a parcel located at 400 to 414 Big Springs Avenue from restricted industrial and warehousing I-1 to general commercial C2 zoning district for passage on second and final reading. So we have a motion and second on that one as well. Any discussion on that one? If not, let's vote. That passes 6-0. Fourth item, ordinance number 1655, an ordinance to amend the zoning map of Tullahoma to rezone a parcel located at 501 South Jackson Street and 105 West Volney Street from general commercial C2 to central commercial C1 zoning district for passage on the second and final reading. We have a motion and a second on that. Motion and a second. Thank you. Any discussion on that one? If not, let's vote on that one. Those pass 6-0, that one does. And then the final one of these in old business, that fifth item, ordinance number 1656, an ordinance to amend the zoning map of the city of Tullahoma to rezone a parcel located at 113 to 115 David Allen Drive from agricultural AG to low-density residential R1 for passage on the second and final reading. So a motion and a second on those as well. Unless there's some discussion, let's vote on that one. So 6-0 on that one as well. So that completes our unfinished business. Under new business, item 7, ordinance number 1657. An ordinance to amend the City of Tullahoma's Occupational Safety and Health Program Plan and related rules and regulations for passage on the first of 2 readings. Mr. Quick?
This is something that's relatively standard. Every so often, we have to go in and just basically re-sign our commitment and update our policies to meet with all of the OSHA requirements. This is basically the same draft as what we've approved in the past. Lori did a very good job of going through and making sure that if there are any changes that needed to be made, that they would have been included. So we're asking for you to approve this, and it just replaces our previous OSHA document that we've had on file.
Does anyone have any questions about this one? If not, I have just a simple question. Are there any significant changes to the OSHA policy? There were none. Okay, so thank you. That helps. All right, so we have a motion and a second on that one. If there's no other discussion, then let's go ahead and vote. And that carries 6-0. Item number 8, ordinance number 1658, an ordinance of the City of Tullahoma to amend ordinance 1632, adopting the annual budget and tax rate for the fiscal year beginning on July 1st, 2024 and ending June 30th, 2025 for passage on the first of 3 readings.
So as we normally do, we have a budget that we will pass. We submit that to the state. During the course of the year, that budget can be amended for several different reasons. If you can remember, there was one for TCS where they needed to have additional funds and move some funds over, whatnot. And at the end of the year, June 30, 2025, then we have to go back and just approve. You need to approve the amended budget that basically says this is where we wound up. So it's basically just something that we do on a annual basis that's required by the state of Tennessee.
Were there any significant adjustments there?
Well, you're gonna see some adjustments, on each reading as we get final closeout payments as far as the amount of sales tax. And if we have money to fund depreciation schedules for equipment, we will do it
Yep.
at the end of the year too.
Thank you. So we won't know the final numbers for how long?
Couple weeks.
Couple weeks. That's pretty good.
There weren't any surprises, correct? Any, like all of a sudden your budget, you've got something that jumped.
The only
50%.
thing I would say, which isn't gonna be a surprise because we've discussed it in, for the new budget, is that sales tax is down quite a bit.
All right. It was sales taxes were down over the course of last year compared to what we originally budgeted, correct? Yeah.
Originally.
So you just got to correct for that at the end of the year.
Did you adjust for that in regards to expenses?
Well, fortunately, I did budget to budget, so when the actual came in, we came in pretty flat.
It's always good.
So we'll make it, we're just not getting, additional funds like we have in some years.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Gotcha.
So we have a motion and a second on that. We do. Okay. So let's vote on that if there's no other questions. Six yes. That brings us to the 9th item, item number 25-77, a request from the fire department to approve an ownership transfer of the hazardous materials truck 706 and hazardous materials trailer to Coffee County Emergency Management Agency.
So through Homeland Security funds, we were able to acquire a hazmat materials trailer and a truck. What we're asking for is basically to allow Alan Lindley with the Emergency Management Agency for the Coffee County to be able to house that. He will then take over all the maintenance and all of the required expenses that go with that trailer. Alan, we were hoping would be here tonight. He's very open and hoping that we will pass this. So it's basically just giving the ownership of that vehicle over to EMA. It will still be available to us just as it always is. Whenever we have anything that has to do with hazardous materials, a great example of when we had the incident at the airport recently, Coffee County and their agencies respond immediately along with our police and fire. So they'll have the truck available to us just as we always have.
So we obtained that through some sort of grant, you said?
Homeland Security funds.
So are we allowed to transfer that to another entity?
It is my understanding, as long as it stays within the district, then you can do that.
Okay.
Is this gonna cause any shortfalls for us?
There's none expected. No.
It's basically a
we still
donation
have-
on our part.
We still have all the access to the truck if ever there's a need. Basically, the real difference is they'll be the ones to bring it to the site versus we would bring it to the site.
I'll say, go ahead, Chief. Yeah, go ahead, Chief.
Thank you. This is not going to change our hazardous materials response to our community. All it's going to do is move that truck to there. We still continue to train with Manchester. We are the decon team for District 6. So we're continuing doing joint training. We'll continue to train with the truck and trailer. Just when we have something that's big, we will have it deployed to our site, and all we'll have to do is bring an engine and personnel at that point. So it's just gonna make things a little easier for us to move things around when we need to.
I'll just say, as a past county commissioner, Alan's a very diligent gentleman on EMA things, and I've no doubt that he will support us in every way possible whenever we need it, so. Any other discussion on that? Questions? All right, well, let's vote. That passes 6-0. Then the next item on the 10th item on our agenda, item number 25-78, a request from the fire department to approve the quote of $70,448 for Barrett Construction to replace the current roof at Fire Hall 2.
So this is a budget item that we had during our budget discussions and was approved by the board. We've gone ahead and had the quotes, and we're asking for the board to approve the work to begin.
Can you remind me what this project, is it just replacing the existing roof, or are we
Replacing-
adding like a pitched roof, or I can't remember?
Replacing the existing roof at Fire Station 2.
Okay.
What's the warranty on that, do you know? I mean, flat roofs are awful.
Is it-
It's not a flat roof at Station 2. It is actually a pitched roof. When it was created 17 years ago, they put it on 24-inch centers, and then they put OSB on top of that. So what we've had over the last 17 years is a lot of sagging and dipping and leaks within that. So this is going to be a complete tear off. They're going to put 3/4-inch plywood on it and have it reshingled. Normal wear and tear on a shingle roof is 15 to 20 years.
Yep.
So we're gonna put back shingle
Yes.
like it is?
Aesthetically,
Plywood,
as it
OSB
is with
should be better.
that community and where it's at, it kind of, the fire hall blends in with the community. So it was something we did back then just to make sure it was blending in with everything else.
All right, we have a motion and a second on that. Is there any other discussion? If not, let's vote. 6 yes. Then the next item, the 11th item on our agenda, item number 25-79, a request from the Public Works Department to approve purchase of the stormwater data management software from IWRQ for $16,500 and authorize mayor to execute same.
This was presented during the time when we had departmental presentations to the Board of Mayor and Aldermen, where Butch Taylor, our Public Works Director, came forward and stated that federal and state requirements for stormwater management under MS4 were changing, and part of those changes were a requirement to purchase software in order to meet their reporting needs. So we're bringing this together, or bringing this tonight for your approval.
I assume the software requirement is just to match whatever data format that the government specified.
Correct.
Butch, go ahead, Butch.
It goes with planning codes. They already have the iWork software. You'll see that here. You do the IT part of that. But yeah, it's a program that we can work with planning codes. They can work with us instead of us cutting and pasting and emailing back and forth. We can access the database, and it works both ways.
Yeah.
So
Thank you. So a motion second on that. Any other discussion? Let's vote. Motion carries 6-0. Our 12th item, item number 25-80, a request from the Public Works Department to approve the bid of $85,000 from Benchmark Mulch Company, Christiana, Tennessee, to perform the brush grinding and debris removal service for the city of Tullahoma.
So I was able to check with all of you, and I think most everybody received the videos that I'd sent to what the Public Works affectionately calls Mount Brushmore. I don't know if people really understand the volume and the massive amount of brush and other things that are discarded as we go by, or go to pick up, that how much that accumulates over time. So annually we have to bid this out in order to get quotes to remove that brush. And so we had two people or two companies that submitted, and Benchmark came in with the lowest bid, and that is who Public Works is looking to recommend.
Do we have a motion? We have a motion and a second.
Yeah, I have some questions on that. I noticed that that was the only, that two people had bid on it, but there's only one bid submission form shown in the packet, and it was the one from Benchmark. And it was noted on the bid sheet that there were exceptions attached to CFC's bid. And I don't know what the exceptions were, but I know a little bit about this, and I've got some questions of why we wouldn't want to go another way with this.
Sure.
The exception they had, they want to bring roll-off dumpsters. You've seen the roll-off dumpsters at construction debris, to set them down there, dig a pit, set them in there, and people load. We have citizens that come down there all the time, throwing the stuff in there. If you go down there and if you looked at the video, there's no way you can move that stuff. We would have to spend our crew down there for 3 months trying to load roll-offs to get rid of that debris. If you go down there and look at it, when Benchmark or when we used to use Johnson Mulch, they come in with a grinder, they grind it all up, they haul it off, we touch it. We don't touch any of it, they move it, it's out of there. And we've tried to work with CFC on that. Matter of fact, when they bought their burner that they bought back a year or so ago, we carried them brush out there, tried to work with them. For it to work for us, if we just hauled our brush out there, we have to drive all the way out to CFC, weigh the truck, turn around, drive all the way back to Cobb Road at Pepsi, so somebody can come down and unlock the gate, go in the gate, unload the truck, and then go back. So if you start looking at the mileage that creates for us, even if we try to do that, and I can tell you the roll-offs are not gonna work. If you go down there and look, there's no place to even put roll-offs down there right now.
Is there any reason, is there any reason why did you have to wait a year to get this ground? So it's gonna accumulate?
No, we do this probably about 3 times a year.
Okay,
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, Steve, hold your ears, because you're on tree board. Everybody and their uncle is cutting trees down right now from all the storms that we've had. People are getting scared. We've got a massive amount, and we're probably full. We're at a point where if we don't get something going here pretty quick, we'll have to quit letting people dump, and we'll have to quit dumping.
Well, it seems like it was about a year ago that we voted on this a thing to award Benchmark the grinding of it. It was about maybe a little more than a year, but it hadn't been that long ago. And it was, at the time, we kind of had no choice because it was already all piled up on our property already. But I was under the understanding that on the CFC bid that they had let us haul it off, and it would never be at our property. We would dump it off on theirs.
Yeah, I mean,
then they would get rid of it.
again, we could, yeah, that would work. But again, we're adding, if you start counting trucks making, say our big truck makes 4 trips a week, they have to drive to CFC. You start adding the miles to that, and you're adding that all to the route.
Well, it depends on where they come from, where the truck comes from. I mean, if it came from the northeast side of town, it would probably be quicker.
It'd be a little shorter, but if you're on the far end of town, you're adding. So I started the mileage from the viaduct, not Public Works. If you start adding it up, it adds several miles to the route.
What would be the possibility of having the citizens just drop it off at CFC?
The problem with that is, who's gonna have accountability? Who's a citizen, who's not a citizen? We have people that sneak in here from Franklin County, we have people slipping here from Moore County, we have people slipping here from everywhere trying to slip their brush in here. You get out-of-town contractors coming in, I'm working over on 608 X Street. Well, a lot of times you find out when you start questioning them, and our guys check their driver's license and what have you, they tell us, oh, well, no. We've actually followed trucks when they left and followed them out of the city limits to places where they're bringing brush in. So there's no accountability. I can tell you some of our senior citizens that they come to Public Works every day, either with biodegradable bags and brush. They're not gonna drive out there and sit in line and wait. Because when you go out there, you gotta sit in line. They only have one set of scales, and you have to sit in line. If there's people dropping off metals or whatever, you're sitting in line waiting until you're the next person through.
As Butch and I looked at that, one of the concerns too was I think our residents have become so accustomed to having it picked up that if we leave it up to them and they say, well, I don't have the means to take some of this brush, then it could just sit in their yards, and then that could create some additional issues as well. I think one of the things when Butch and I sat and we talked about, you know, the two different bids, the one thing we looked at was cost, which was $9.75 per cubic yard versus a $10 cubic yard, and then the $9.75 we had to provide no labor, no support. They came in and were just kind of like a one-stop shop, where the other, it would require our employees to actually do the work, do a lot of more work as far as loading those dumpsters and then being ready for disposal by CFC.
Yeah, I mean, to haul off what we got down there now, for us to load it in CFC's roll-offs, which you kind of think of a construction roll-off, you're not talking at grinded mulch, or you're talking about loose limbs and debris, trying to put those in roll-offs, it would take forever. I mean, we would love to work for CFC.
What is the volume of the stuff that's delivered to you versus what you pick up?
Do what now?
What is the volume, the stuff that's delivered to you at Public Works versus what your crews pick up?
Oh, God, Kurt, that's hard to say, because we have people
is it
coming in there.
more, is it less, is it?
It's probably equal, because if you drive around the streets like I do every day, every street you go on, and Jason and I were out in a bit, in every street we were on, people had brush sitting out in front of their house.
Oh, yeah,
So,
that's why I was thinking
yeah.
it would probably be more
it's
than
quite
you
a
pick
bit
up.
that we haul in. Like I said, our big truck, sometimes 5 trips a day, you know, to Public Works, so.
What do we do with you drive by and looks like a mattress sitting out or old furniture? Is that our responsibility?
We pick up what we call excess. We have a truck called the junk truck, that's what we call it. And they go around and pick up excess stuff. Now, we don't take care of people moving out of the house and just throwing things out in the yard. But if they have a new mattress or something, they replace a mattress or a couch or chair, that type of stuff we pick up.
Do you drive around or do they call you?
We run a route. It's like a
It's once a
Tuesday,
month,
Wednesday,
right?
Thursday,
So-
Friday route. We do it by quadrant.
So it's pretty well announced?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
It
pretty
seems like
much.
some of that stuff just sits there and
Yeah,
I don't blame the city, I blame the people who put it in.
yeah, I mean, we get those people that we have to turn over to codes where a landlord goes in and, you know, evicts somebody and they just take all their stuff and toss it in the ditch. That's not our responsibility, so.
All right. So bottom line, sounds like to me, we've got 2 bids and one bid's cheaper and it has better service than the one that's higher.
At this point, yes, that's a fact. And I can't say what that 25 cents could be. It could be $5,000, it could be $25,000. It just depends. I mean, if you go down and look what we got, I'm guessing that we could have anywhere from 5, 6, 7,000 cubic yards down there. I mean, if you look at the pile, we're all the way back up to animal control is where our brush is.
That's my main concern, and that's why I was asking questions about it, was all the stuff that's built up down there. To me, it seems like a fire hazard and a wildlife hazard and everything else with all that stuff. I just don't want to get in a position to where we were in this position like a year or so ago, like I said, when we talked about it. And here we are again. I just don't want to be all that debris built up down there. I don't think it's a good case to have that. And that's why I thought, well, maybe if they could dump it off on someone else's property, it would be better, but I understand how that won't work, but, but I think we need some assurance that we could grind that more frequently or do something to where
Well,
that's not gonna make,
The part about that, and not to cut you off, is all about the funds. I mean, for this year, we had, what, 5 back-to-back storms that has overwhelmed us. I mean, we were out all through the spring getting trees up every storm, every night. And we're getting a lot of people now that their yards are drying up, that they can get in their backyards with these tree services. If you drive down the streets, there's a tree service on every street. And they're working, and people's cutting trees down around their house, certainly understand that. But that's what we're seeing.
Oh, he just
But
went dead.
I may have misunderstood you, Butch. I thought you said that they will come more than once a year. Is that correct? Or
Yes,
is that-
yeah. I think, last year they came 3 times, am I correct, Eric? 3 times last year, yeah.
Do they charge extra if it's more than 3 times?
No, it's the same amount, whatever that's
So it
there.
sounds to me you need to get those boys out there. a little
Yeah,
bit
How-
more
we,
than
how
3
much-
times a year.
we're ready right now. I mean,
can we
Can I make
afford
a-
to do all the mulching that's there now? I mean,
Is that what this estimate's for?
do what now?
can we, this is for 85,000, is that for just 1 year, or is that for the 3-year
That's
term?
for right now, that's for the year.
For the year, okay, good, that's better
Yeah.
than 3 years, but.
Yeah, that's for
So,
the year.
is that enough money to get rid of all the stuff that's down there now?
I think it's gonna be pretty close, but it's hard, if you go down there and look at the pile, it's hard to guesstimate what's there. It's just hard to guesstimate it.
So how do we ask for this bid? Is this bid on a certain volume?
It is, it's
And
per
so we've
cubic
guessed,
yard.
we've basically estimated a volume and they've given us price for
Yeah,
that.
I mean, for every year for the last couple of years since we've been in these storm cycles, we bumped it up, you know, I don't know, $10,000-15,000 in the last year or so.
So if I might make a suggestion, it seems to me, you know, if we're worried about building up too much, we ought to figure out how much enough is and say, when we get to that volume, we go make a request.
Yeah, I would be in favor of if you run out of money and it's not all gone, let's appropriate more money, let's get it gone, so we can start out
I don't-
fresh.
but I
We'll
don't
agree,
think
I
there's
mean-
that, but my point is, your comment about it building up, to me, it's like, you don't wanna have them come every day, they're gonna jump their bid off, but when you get some reasonable amount, you ask them to come grind it.
This past year, I had to go back in my budget and find some money to add to get that third time.
Well, yeah. if
I
we
mean, I could sit there and say, put in $175,000 for.
I don't think that's really what he's saying, though. At least that's not what I'm saying. The question is, are we building up too much so that it's a safety hazard on our own property? What's an amount we think is a safe amount to have built up before we ask somebody to come grind it?
Yeah, this is just, the way we got hit with these storms this year.
No, I
it's just
understand, but I'm saying,
Overwhelmed.
as we're going forward, we would say, well, when we fill up this many feet of roadside down there, and we're
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
call somebody and grind it.
To me, I think the way you would do it is we would just have to draw literally or figuratively a line that once it hits that line, then
That's
you
my
know
point.
it's time.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what we do. I mean, we kind of, and when we had the bid opening, we actually had Benchmark go down and look at what we had down there. I don't think CFC, matter of fact, they didn't even stay for the bid opening. They just dropped their bid off and left. I'd been glad for them to go down and look at what we had down there. I don't think they've even been down to
Yeah.
look.
I'm
and
not
see
as
what's
concerned
actually down
about who does it, I'm concerned about getting it done and getting it done right. I saw the video, I know how much is down there. And so if they came in and started grinding it, will they grind it till it's all gone?
there. They'll grind it till.
Or we run out of money?
We run out of money.
Well, let's not run it, I mean, that's what I'm saying, if it's a reasonable amount left down there, let's keep them going and.
Well, I'll be glad to do that. It's just a matter of going back and saying, hey, you know, I got to
Yeah,
have X
we're
dollars.
X
It'll
amount
just
of
have to
dollars
come before
short. Yeah, you'd have to come for approval to.
But
do
it's
Yeah,
not
and
like
that's
we're
one
just gonna
thing.
let it build up forever and not grind it, so.
Right,
if we're
yeah,
gonna
that's
grind it,
what-
We're gonna grind it.
Yeah, that's what,
Yeah, I mean,
But I
it's
mean,
just
it's
unfortunate this year, based on all the storms we had and everybody bringing the brush in, they've kind of overwhelmed us pretty good this year.
Understand.
How soon can they come and start
If
grinding?
we approve this bid next week,
Yep.
If not the end of this week.
yep.
So we have motion second. Do we have any other questions or comments about that? I think we know what needs to be done right now, and then we just need to stay on top of it.
Yeah, let's,
Going forward.
'cause I've said, if all that started on fire down there, I don't know if it'd ever be put out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. That's why we got it on the agenda right now.
And,
All right. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I can't vote.
Yeah, he's got a problem with
Yeah,
his tablet.
Raise your
What
hand.
do I do? Yeah, I'll-
Here, she says give it to her.
And just to say, want to add one thing too, we'll continue trying to work with CFC out there and, with what we can. We always have.
right, yeah, I wasn't saying CFC is, I was trying to find a way where all that debris wouldn't build up on our property, because I just
Gotcha.
think it's a hazard.
Vote for him. Can you enter his vote for him?
Well, if you remember years ago,
Yes.
we used to have a big burn pit, and we used to burn it many years ago, but the state
Well,
won't
that's-
allow that anymore.
Well, yeah, I'm afraid that might happen naturally if it keeps on
It
building.
it can happen.
All right, so if there's no other discussion, let's go ahead and vote.
Is that a big
She's
bonfire?
just gonna have to enter your vote for you for right
Okay,
now. if
it's
that's
yes,
okay.
yeah,
So,
but yes.
everybody vote.
Good.
Or- And hopefully it'll reboot in a minute for you. All right, 6 yes on that bid. And then our final item on our regular board agenda, item number 25-81, a request from the police department to surplus 58 awarded firearms to GT's distributors, receiving an in-store credit of $7,415 to be used to purchase optics and/or ammunition for the department's issued firearms.
So through the course of its investigations and/or patrol, they have, the Tullahoma Police Department has had 58 weapons that have been confiscated. So this is basically, we're surplusing those weapons to the lowest bidder, or I'm sorry, the highest bidder, who will then give us that in-store credit. And again, I just want to say thank you to Chief Sons, Lieutenant Henderson, who does an awful lot of work with this, and I feel like we've got a really good deal.
Okay. I have no idea what confiscated weapons should be worth, but if it was under a bid process, then I guess I assume some of them are not such great weapons. Junk, right? So, yeah, okay. So we have motion approval on that. Any other discussion? Let's vote.
Yes.
Back the old-fashioned way.
I have to whisper it.
All right, that's 6 yes on that. All right, so we got a beer board, so don't leave when we adjourn, but we'll adjourn that city board meeting and enter into our beer board meeting. So we call to order on that. Do we have any public comments for the beer board? All right, let's go on to the agenda. No unfinished business, new business, item 24-BB18, approval of minutes of the July 14th regular meeting. So we have motion approval. We have motion and second on approving the minutes. Let's vote. All right, that passes 6-0. And then, item 25-BB19, a request to approve beer application for a special event, permit nonprofit and waive fees for Beechcraft Heritage Museum Beach Party International Flying Event to be held on October 8th through 11th. Ms. Jody Curtis will oversee beer sales for the event. So, Ms. Curtis isn't here though, I don't guess, is she?
No,
Let's see.
she's
Okay.
not here.
Yeah.
She's in Ely.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead and vote. She's already got me rolling here. All right, so that one's approved, 6-0. And then the second item here, or the fourth item, item number 25-BB20, a request to approve beer application for Mapco Express Incorporated, store number 3671, 101 Cedar Lane. Smith, is it Smith, sir? Smith Patel will be the manager in charge of beer sales. Okay. Do we have any questions for Mr. Patel? We have a motion and a second. If there's no questions or comments, let's vote. All right, and 6-0 on that, and with that, we are adjourned.
Adjourn.
Thank you, sir.